Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. Today we have 3 more news stories, and the first story about Karen, who doesn't mind lying to her nephews to save a few dollars. My aunt expects me to watch her kids. But before we start, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. So I'm not entirely sure how much this fits in this subreddit, or if it's better off in another, so please let me know. This story still infuriates me, so I have to share it somewhere. To give some backstory, the aunt in question is not my blood relative, but she's married to my uncle, and no one in my family likes her. She's selfish, materialistic, and loves spending my uncle's money. She quit her job when they got married. She had 3 kids before they got together, ages 12, 7, and 4, and frequently hires nannies and babysitters to watch them so she can go on trips and have some me time. That'll be important later on. Now to the story. It was a few months into their new marriage. Their wedding was actual hell, and that's a whole other story for another time. We were at a family dinner at my Oma's, grandma's house. A few of us, including myself, my sister, and Oma, were sitting in the kitchen talking. Oma had asked me about how college was going, and that was when my aunt joined the conversation. She evidently didn't know I was going to college. Aunt, you're in school? You're getting a degree? Me, I'm getting my associates in early childhood education. My aunt looked stunned at my answer. Only an associate's? That's not going to do anything. Me, well, that's all I can afford right now. She cut me off. And education? Do you even have any idea how it is to deal with kids? Mind you, I've been working at a preschool for over 3 years at this point, and the last year I've been a lead teacher and won an award from my organization. So yes, I know how to deal with kids. Me. Well, I am a preschool teacher now, so yeah. Me saying this suddenly changed my aunt's expression. And this was the end of that conversation, but a few days later I got a text from her. Aunt, hi. Your uncle gave me your number. I was wondering if you could come over tomorrow night for a few hours. Dinner will be provided. I was confused. What was she asking me? I thought maybe she was just asking if I wanted to join them for dinner, or maybe she wanted to talk. Me. Hey, can I ask you what the occasion is? Aunt. We'd just like your company for a few hours. I reluctantly agreed, and soon enough found myself at their house the next night. When my aunt opened the door, she was very dressed up, and I was taken aback. Was I supposed to be dressed up too? You're late, and now I'm late. Me. I'm sorry, I didn't realize how time-sensitive our plans were. She rolled her eyes at me. My aunt. Oldest child knows where everything is and can help with the younger too. And then she started to leave. Me. Whoa, what? It suddenly hit me that she expected me to babysit her kids while she and my uncle went out. I had no idea where they were going, how long they were going to be gone, or that I was babysitting. Aunt. Oldest can help you with anything. They're out back. She tried to leave again, but I was fuming at this point. I really thought she wanted to spend some time with me. How stupid of me. Me. I thought I was here for dinner. Aunt. I needed someone to watch the kids. Me. Then hire someone. Aunt. Duh, that's you. You're the teacher, aren't you? She actually used air quotes on teacher. Me. I am a teacher, not a babysitter. Aunt. Oh, come on. Your job isn't that hard. You're basically a glorified babysitter anyways. Just stay here with the kids and we'll be back in a few hours. Me. No! I yelled at her, almost crying. Months of putting up with her and were finally too much. Aunt. Excuse me? I was going to pay you for your work. Me. I'm not going to work for you. Aunt. You're such an awful teacher then. Ugh, as rude as your awful Oma. The mention of my Oma like that was the last straw. Me. At least I spend time with kids, unlike you who shucks them to anyone you can to get drunk at the ballet. Aunt. How dare you? Me. I'm more of a parent, an educator, and a support to my classroom kids than you are to your actual kids. Find someone else to watch your whiny brats and maybe effing ask them first. I stormed out. The altercation didn't even last 10 minutes. Once back in my car, I drove off as fast as I could before parking at the local grocery store and called my Oma, sobbing. I felt so frustrated and upset, as well as stupid for thinking my aunt and uncle wanted to spend time with me. She, of all people, knew how awful my aunt was and was able to calm me down enough and offered to have me over for dinner to go over the events. We ended up laughing and making jokes about it. I love my Oma so much. I haven't talked to my aunt in months now, and I am totally okay with that. And our next story. Ma'am, I am the manager. Note, this story is in fact not mine, but my sister's. She's 32 now, and I chuckle a bit every time she talks about it. I'm just going to say it in first person. Also, she gave me permission to post this. Background. I was 29 at the time when I became the manager of a small retail store in a small town, so therefore we didn't have any incidents with outrageous customers. I personally like this because my self-esteem was very low, and honestly, I just didn't like talking to people. On to the story. I walk into the store with a couple of customers already looking at items on the shelves, along with one of the employees smiling and waving at me. I smile and wave back and walk through a door into the break room. I didn't have breakfast that morning, so I grabbed a muffin and started eating so I could check up on everything. I'd recently just started the position as manager, so I wanted to try and be somewhat efficient. A couple of minutes later, the employee walks in. Nice employee. Hey, there's a lady out there with a kid. She's asking to see the manager. She also says that she knows you very well. Me, not knowing what to do. Oh, okay. I walked outside and introduced myself. I'm the manager. What do you need? Karen. She scoffed. You are not the manager. I knew him. Get me the real manager. Me, confused. Ma'am, I am in fact the manager. I don't know who else you could be talking about. Then it hit me. She must be talking about the old manager. Do you mean old manager? Karen. Yes, I mean old manager. Why is this so difficult for you? Me. Ma'am, he doesn't work here anymore. And if you continue to yell, we will have to make you leave. And mind you, the girl hadn't said a word so far. She just kept looking down, embarrassed. Kid. Mom, come on. Let's just pay for our stuff and go home. Karen. No, I will see your manager. Me. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. She eventually just kept yelling and rambling on about how we can't just lie saying that I'm the manager and that we should all be fired. Kid. Mom, let's go. This is why Dad keeps getting mad at you. Karen looked down at her and smacked her. Nice employee ran around the desk and grabbed the child's hand and sat the kid down while I called security. Karen went nuts on security and we called the police. I heard that Karen had to go to court because she ended up assaulting one of the police officers as well. Even after I heard about everything going on with Karen, I never heard about what happened with the kid. I felt bad. Along with that, I never found out what the lady needed in the first place. I never asked nice employee because she gave me a 2-week notice a couple of days later. On her last day, I wished her well and never saw her again. And our third story. I have a clipboard. Bit of background. I'm usually in my government-issued uniform or jeans looking very teenage-ish when I'm out and about, so looking smartly dressed is almost never happening. However, I have something special coming up and went to Torrid to get a nice business-esque outfit. I felt pretty, so I changed from government uniform into outfit and went out to get grocery shopping done. Now I use e-meals, and I like to print out the grocery list so I can add in prices and keep a running total. To make this easier, I use a clipboard and a mechanical pencil. Few people give me props for this. Most ignore me, which I prefer. However, I'm posting here. So cue me being at the local Walmart, where a few items I keep track of prices is cheaper than Kroger. Standing there with my clipboard, I'm dressed in my pretty outfit, feeling semi-confident and rocking YouTube SPC stories on my earpiece. I'm ignoring almost everyone around me and looking for a bag of frozen peas. Looks like someone took out all the bags and just chucked them back into the freezer and hoped the door would close. Finding a different bag, I stepped back and consulted my grocery list. Changing to my second page, I chuck the bag into my cart and make a note on the page. Delving back into the frozen mess, I finally make a noise and start separating the bags in their proper spots, muttering on about how people should have been ashamed of themselves. Every so often, I toss a bag I need into my cart. That's when I hear him. Just gonna ignore a black man. Stupid bee doesn't know her betters. Pulling back a bit, I glance to one side. Oh, gonna pay attention to me now? Me. Looking back to my cart, I just look at the older guy standing there and giving me a vile look. Ooh, I felt like my mind had blue screened. You stupid bee, just ignoring those who need help? I'm sorry. Still confused, I let the door close behind me. Now, where is some frozen item? I don't know, Of course you wouldn't want to tell me, you racist B-word. His voice had gotten raised, and a couple of people looked over, but nobody was doing anything. Sir, I was starting to feel uneasy. Only my cart was separating us, and you could feel this guy's anger. I don't care. Now where is blank? I don't know. I don't work here. As if by shining a light, my saving angel turned the corner and let out a bellow that could make any kid scatter. She was shorter than me. I'm 5'5", hair under a proper Sunday hat, and a purse that could knock a disobeying kid back at 20 paces. Name! What in the Lord's good graces are you doing to that child? Well, she looked like she worked here with a list and all. The man looked like he knew the wrong word was going to land him under the doghouse. That's her grocery list, you right fool, doing it the way her nan trained her. Her voice seemed to change to another person as she looked at me. I'm sorry, sweetie. Forgive that fool. Good idea to use a clipboard. Keeps the writing neat. Yes, ma'am. I'm almost squeaking as I certainly knew I couldn't take this fierce mama's wrath. I don't know what he's looking for. I just need peas. She glanced at the still messed shelves, plucked open the other door, and by magic hands me the bag. There we are. Now you better get so these don't thaw. And you look so lovely. Be blessed, dear. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Your hat is lovely. I grab my cart and back away as she gives me a smile before it vanishes as she looks back to her now shrinking beau. I don't know what trouble he got into. I have a feeling he's not going to make that mistake again. Congratulations. We found Karen's opposite. And thank you all for watching the video to the end. I'll see you in the next one.